Parliament because the member for Bole, Yusuf Suleimana, is accusing the Lands Minister Samuel Abujinapo and the Minerals Commission of handing out large mining concessions to foreigners without proper consultation. This lack of consultation, according to him, has led to heightened tension in the constituency. Yesterday, the Vice Chair and Secretary of the MPP in the constituency were allegedly brutalized by some soldiers allegedly guarding some of these mining concessions. Speaking to journalists in Parliament, Yusuf Suleimana warned there will be further disturbances if the process of handing out these mining concessions is not streamlined.
So it's an issue that we are all worried about. First of all, let me say that it's on record that from the beginning of my constituency, that is Bamboy, to the end of it is full of mineral deposits, both right and left sides of the road. And so, of course, you have some galamsey activities going on there. And the move was for us to regularize these small-scale miners so that they don't destroy the environment. As I speak to you, only 4 mining, small-scale mining associations have been granted licenses. And so, majority of the youth are forced to continue with the galamsey business. Unfortunately, from February to date, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources has allocated the land or has apportioned the land to over 7 large-scale miners, asking them to go and prospect. And the problem is that there was no any proper stakeholder consultations. And so the youth are there, and then they will see heavy equipment coming to take over what they are doing. And that is where the clash is coming from. Interestingly, it is only the the MPP executives who are given the juicy places to do the galamsey work. And that is what is reflecting. Today, as I speak to you, the vice chairman of the MPP in the Bole Bamboy constituency is hospitalized. The secretary is at the hospital because the military brutalized them last night. They brutalized them because we are told that some ministers have asked military to go and protect the Chinese who are there doing whatever they call it. They say it's prospecting, but I tell you, they're mining. And so the youth involving constituting the MPP executives are saying that, look, we have not been involved, we have not been told anything, and the letter we are doing here is being taken away from us. So that is where the resistance is coming from, and the military couldn't also restrain themselves. So they ended up brutalizing them. And then when the vice chairman was arrested and taken to the police station in Bole, of course, the youth will have to solidarize with him. They went there trying to even throw stones at the police and had to make a few calls to the youth to plead with them that these things ends up tarnishing the image of the great community called Bole Bamboy. So if they could restrain and then exercise patience and see how we work to resolve the matter. The bottom line is that the minister responsible for lands and natural resources must tell us why he's apportioning the lands to large-scale miners without stakeholder engagement. Nobody is saying that he doesn't have the right. Per the constitutional arrangement.
Well, and as a member of Parliament for Bole, now let me take you to the Savannah region, where regional correspondent Isaac Nyonya joins us with an update from the community. So, Isaac, this storybook yesterday it's generated national discussion. What is the atmosphere in the community as we speak?
The district?
Yes, Isaac.
As we speak, both combined police and military have taken over Bole town. And you cannot talk without getting to the galamsey area. The 3 areas, we are told, all the miners, most of the miners have vacated this area because they don't know who is next to be shot. We are also told that many of them are located to a nearby state, somewhere it is site, waiting for it to come down for that. The information we are on the fact that those who were yesterday and then they were admitted because they said the police are on standby to pick them up and put them to custody for that granted a lawful bail on the police officer.
Apart from the MPP constituency chairman and the secretary, no other person was injured in this, disturbances?
We are told a woman who close from market was going was also met by a stray bullet on the left arm, but the hair was a bit minimum. So she was treated at the pharmacy and discharged yesterday. This year and the rest are looking for the said woman to see how they can help her to be sure that her wounds is healed and healed. Also, there's a girls' school within Bole Township called Bole Model Girls Junior High. It's a boarding school. The girls initially requested for armed security guards, and they were given about 3. But with the happening of last night, they have intensified their request again. This time, they need more than 10 armed security guards to prevent protection in this.
And Isaac, why are they asking for more security personnel to be deployed to the school?
Well, don't forget that the unarmed security guard in the school was killed just like the others.
Right.
He was in one of the classrooms lying down, and then an unknown assailant, when they used a concrete block and smashed his head. That was how the whole thing started in the school. So based on that, if we have a security guard who was not armed, was killed this way, then we need to get somebody others who are armed to protect us. And that is why they would have made them do with the 3 who are there. But last night disturbances, they feel that no, all is not well. They need more security guards to make sure that they are safe and safe very well.
I know you have been investigating this matter independently, and I would like to find out, why do we have military personnel in the community?
We are told purposely, number one, the presence of the Galamsey, the small-scale miners, illegal miners. That is number one. Number 2, the personnel who were deployed down there to make sure that the safety and peace of the area is assured. The military were brought in basically to make sure that anybody who wants to resist the police on the ground, they were unmanned. And then to also make sure that these illegal miners who are found around are taken care of using maximum force.
So finally, let me ask you, are there foreign nationals undertaking illegal mining in the community?
Precisely so. We can talk about, first of all, Côte d'Ivoire, the Ivorians are there. Bole shares border, and then Ghana through Bole shares border with Ivory Coast.
Right.
The Burkina nationals are there, Togo are there, and Nigeria, 4 neighboring countries. A good number of them who have access to this area in terms of capital are these foreigners. And they also employ more hands, local hands, from nearby regions, Upper West, Northern, the Bono regions, and that of Savannah.
And they are having a field day undertaking their business?
Exactly. When you go to any of these mining areas, particularly Kui and the Banda Kontan area, the only item or commodity you will not find there to buy is a car. Right from health, education, petty trading, everything you want, you will get. So we have a good number of our sisters who are equally there, supporting and then also trying to make do with what they are getting there.
Right. And
to assist the men who are there working day in, day out to make a living.
All right, Isaac, thank you so much. I know this is a story that is developing, and we'll come to you if there's any new angle to this in subsequent bulletins. But let me take you to Parliament now, because the Member of Parliament for Bole first raised this issue when he spoke to my colleague Kokwa Santem, and he's been looking forward to an opportunity to formally bring him to the attention of the Speaker. Kwaku, has that opportunity presented itself?
Hello, Elton. Yes, you see, Sulemana has indeed raised this issue on the floor of the House. He has raised this issue when the business statement was presented by the Majority Leader, Alexander Fenyo-Markin. He did indeed make that point, and the kind of allegations that he had made earlier on about the military brutalization of those 2 political party executives of the New Patriotic Party. And what he also says is the military providing guard to illegal miners or foreign companies in the constituency. So he has indeed brought that to the attention of the House. He has asked the Speaker of Parliament to implore on the Business Committee to schedule the Interior Minister as well as the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources to all come and brief the House. The Majority Leader has responded affirmatively to those concerns. He indeed has said that those are quite legitimate concerns that he has expressed, and they will be working to ensure that they can get the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources as well as the Minister for Interior to come and brief the House what exactly may have happened. But because he may not be sure of how expeditiously they'll be able to get these ministers to come to the floor, he has been urging the Member of Parliament to file an urgent question that will get those ministers to come to the floor and answer the questions. But as far as he's concerned, he's going to put in process the issues to get the two ministers to come to the floor and answer this. Because they were all commenting on the business statement, MPs were not allowed to comment on the concerns that they have expressed. But the Speaker did say, and by the Speaker, I mean the second Deputy Speaker, Andrew Amarko-Esiama, and MP for Femina, who said that was a pretty serious issue. In fact, he had come up on the floor last week, and the Majority Leader had given certain indication as to what they were doing. So we expect that shortly we'll get some indication in terms of how soon we can get those two ministers to come to the floor to respond to these issues.
Since Parliament resumes sitting on Tuesday, I mean, the issue of, attendance is always an issue. I don't know what is motivating members to stay away from the House. Part of the fact that minority, they made it clear anytime their leader is in court, they will boycott sittings until he's back on the floor. Now, today there's no court sitting, and yet we have issues with attendance.
Yes, indeed, Elton. In fact, at the time Parliament started sitting a little after 12 noon today, there were not up to 30 or 40 MPs on the floor. But the House proceeded to do business anyway. And while they were commenting on other issues, we had a number of NDC MPs, particularly Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed and the MP for Bole MP, Yusuf Sulemana, who said that it is because these NPP MPs have abandoned their responsibilities and are following the Vice President around to campaign. That is the allegation they made. Of course, there were no response from the Majority Leadership side on that. But at a later point in the sitting, the minority MPs did raise an issue of quorum, and they say that the House did not have the quorum issue. The House was forced to suspend at the time. When they came back, there was some back and forth, and an agreement was that the issue of quorum would be dropped. And so the quorum issue was not pushed further again by the minority MP, the Bole MP, Yusuf, right, who did raise that issue on the floor of the House. So those have been the concerns that have been expressed, particularly relating to the attendance. It's been poor, very, very much so since Parliament resumed last week. At no point in time have we had up to even 50 or 60 MPs on the floor. It's almost 30, 40. Almost every part of the chamber is really empty with empty chairs all over. And that is what the minority are claiming, that the NPP MPs are prioritizing the Vice President's campaign over that of Parliament. And you think that from next week, they intend to really take the action seriously by raising issues of quorum if the Majority Leadership cannot get their numbers to come to the floor. But the House is proceeding anyway without the numbers.
My final question, is there any indication the media review will happen in this meeting?
Well, that is what the Public Financial Management Act says. And so far, three business statements have been presented. Last week, there was the first one, and then there was the one for this week. Another business statement has been presented, but an indication as to when exactly that will be done has not come. We understand there will be some talks within government and with the leadership of Parliament to firm up the date. But as of now, no indication has been given as to when exactly that will be done.
August Anti-Parliamentary Correspondent, thank you so much for joining us on the pause this afternoon. We'll take a short break. When we return, the Ghana we want plus the Ghana we have. We'll have that conversation right here on the pause. Stay right there.